lesz a neten. So welcome all of you and thank you for coming. I am Peter Hegyi and the director of the Center for Translational Medicine at Semmelweis University. And on behalf of the university, I would like to thank you very much for coming tonight to listen about the opportunities what the Semmelweis University provide for you. Actually, one of the main aims of Semmelweis University to enhance its research activity. The university definitely would like to go into the best 100 universities worldwide. And it's very clear that to achieve this aim, we must arrive to a very high activity of scientific field. Therefore, last year, the university leadership decided to establish the Center for Translational Medicine in order to make the university attractive enough to invite young fellows for PhD studentship to do, we always call it healthcare delivery science in the field of medicine, which will not only provide the students opportunity to understand the clinical questions and learn how to translate scientific knowledge back to patient benefit, but also will help to receive a PhD degree. So tonight we will introduce you the opportunities and you will have a chance at the end to ask questions. You have a question and answer field. You can ask your questions over there, or if you type your questions to the chat, it's also a possibility. I also would like to welcome on board Ibolya Turi, who is the Vice Dean for Scientific Matter at András Pető faculty, who also joined to our activities, and they are very actively started this program. So besides the Faculty of Medicine, Pharmacy, Dentistry, Health Sciences, also, if you are a conductor or would like to do your research activity at the András Pető faculty, you are more than welcome to join in. So I would like to give a little bit, hand over the voice to Ibolya to say a couple of words to introduce your faculty and about how people can join also via your faculty to this program.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. So about our faculty, the name is András Pető faculty. It's because András Pető was who built this very special method, what is quite unique, not just in Hungary, but it's a very unique method in the whole world. Conductive education is focusing on complex personality development of people, so children and adults with cerebral palsy. And what it means, we not just focusing on the motor development, but we also focusing on the cognitive and the emotional development as well. And how we do this, we work through pedagogical rehabilitation. So that this is how we take part of the job in the rehabilitation with conductive education. About our training, we training special trainers, special educators, or we can say special teachers. We call it conductors, and conductors who are working in conductive education. That means we have the whole fully spectrum of not just the age, but the symptoms as well of cerebral palsy. So our teachers, they can enjoy the practical side from the very early ages till the adult age. So they have a very, very huge opportunity to learn a lot about their future professional. About the program, We have 2 conductors who can enjoy this program from the beginning, from September, and we are very proud of them, because this is a big step, not just for a conductor, but it's a big step for the training and a big step for conductive education, because our searches about the conductive education or cerebral palsy, it could have a big help and a very high level of the support. So we're very pleased to be here, and we were very pleased to enjoy the program and the doctoral training as well. So thank you very much to having us, and we would like to say please come, because it's a really, really good opportunity for everyone.
Well, thank you very much, Iboya, for the nice introduction. And actually, I would like to share my presentation. And I would like to ask you, Iboya, to confirm whether you can see the slides. Yes, thank you. So let's introduce this kind of program we are doing. And we must start with a very big statement, and a very important one, that if we look at our life activities, irrespectively whether we are commuting between 2 points, like, or we are doing sport activities, or we are driving cars, currently science is in our everyday, every hour, every minute life. We almost cannot say any kind of activities what we can do in a high quality without knowing and without using scientific activities. It is exactly the same in medicine, because if we look at how the medicine was actually developed, it's exactly the same what we can see. For example, medicine in the past without clinical scientific knowledge was mostly individual experience-based medicine. Those doctors who saw many patients, they had the knowledge in their head, and based on the population they have seen, they made a daily decision. This was the reason why a couple of doctors thought differently on the same problem. So if a patient went to one doctor, he got another treatment than if he went to another doctor. Therefore, the residents had to learn what the consultant, the specialist, what they like to do, because all of them were thinking differently. And science actually was a hobby of those medical doctors who wanted to treat their patients better. Now, in the 21st century, it's totally changed, because there were huge amount of clinical research, randomized controlled trials, data analysis, and everything, which actually generated a large amount of scientific knowledge in the center, which actually gave very clear evidence-based guidelines how to treat patients. So at the beginning of the 21st century now, we should treat the patients based on evidences and not on individual experience. Of course, there are not every field discovered with evidences, so there is still lots of place for individual experience, but generally it's turned over, not the medicine-based, the scientific activity, but opposite, to be a good doctor, know, to understand scientific achievements. It's a necessity. And if we look at the future, it's even more important that precision medicine, pharmacogenetics, we now take samples from the patients, build up organoids and treat the drugs. We use artificial intelligence. So even in the future in medicine, science will be absolutely in front line. So one of the major aims of this program to sensitize clinical doctors and to teach the clinical professionals, including doctors, dietitians, physiotherapists, physicians, all healthcare professionals, to understand science, because in the future you will not be able to be a good quality healthcare provider without this knowledge. And why do I say this very harshly, that you cannot be a good healthcare professional or doctors without knowing scientific benefits? It's very easy, because if somebody would say that nobody can do any kind of clinical research any longer in the earth, we still would save huge amount of life because we don't use the scientific knowledge back to patients' benefits. If we look at the European Union statistical data before COVID-19, in 2016, 126,000 people died in Hungary. However, if I look at how many lives could have been saved based on the scientific knowledge generated in the past, it's very striking, the data, that 60,000 people's life, it's 50% of all deaths in Hungary, could have been saved if we use all the knowledge what we have in medicine, including healthcare professionals, including patients, because plenty of patients do not take their drugs, you know, they just not accommodating to the treatment. So, but if we look at all, it's 60,000, it's twice more than COVID-19 took, you know, in the highest level of its activities. But the situation is exactly the same in worldwide, in Europe as well. If you look at the rate of avoidable deaths in the EU under 75, 1.7 million people died before COVID-19, and shockingly, 2/3 of deaths could have been avoided. And of course, in those countries where the scientific activity is higher in Western Europe, this percentage is lower. However, in those countries, especially the Eastern European ones, where the scientific activity in medicine not as high as in Western Europe, this kind of avoidable death rate is much higher. Therefore, we definitely need a methodology to bring scientific knowledge back to patients' care, because if you look at how many new citations, publications are worldwide, currently more than 1.5 million articles published in a year. If you look at the benefits, it's only very small. So we need professionals who can translate scientific knowledge back to patients' benefits. And this is you guys who are in everyday practice next to patients. So if somebody asks us, what is the vision of Center for Translational Medicine? It's very easy, science into healthcare. And if you look at what is our mission, we would like to achieve breakthrough change, not only in Hungary, but also in Europe. Not surprisingly, based on this very bad European data as well, that Academia of Europe, which is the largest and most distinguished scientific center in Europe, with around 5,000 members, of which 73 are already Nobel laureates, decided to put translational medicine as a top priority of the Academia of Europe programs. And we were very proud that in 2019, they appointed the University of Page Center for Translational Medicine, what we actually established in 2016 to help to develop with the members of Academia of Europe this program. And therefore, top experts in the field came to Budapest, and we had a huge meeting. And after this meeting, we actually wrote a white paper, a position paper of Academia of Europe, which means how to translate scientific knowledge back for patients' benefits. So if you look at actually the new approach, we must close to the patient side. We need to ask questions. These questions should be answered with scientific activities. The scientific activities must be summarized actually in articles, in evidence-based guidelines, in knowledge, and this one should be communicated towards the patients, towards healthcare professionals, towards policymakers, insurance company. And if we close actually this circle, this will mean translational medicine. And it's include a PhD program, a postgraduate program suggestions, what we are running now over 5 years. And one of, I think, the biggest evidence that this program helps for patients and for young doctors' education is that we could provide outstanding results in the last 5 years. We also could save patients' life. For example, in pancreatitis, we could diagnose the diabetes mellitus more accurately in the CF population. We could achieve plenty of European grants, but also importantly in the scholarly factor, we could elevate the impact factor citations of the universities and of the individual patients, showing that this program altogether elevate all level of medicine. So what is different? What we are doing differently in our PhD hybrid education, because those doctors or any kind of healthcare professionals who join us can continue their activities. Actually, the fact that we provide for the students a huge amount of help, experts, group leaders, IT specialists, biostatisticians, lower. So you are not alone on your road of getting PhD. And this is the reason why with a very extensive 1 year scientific activity, we can provide you all the knowledge you need in the field, and we can provide actually around 2 first authors papers for you. During actually this one very active year, we are using the learning by doing model. What does it mean? It means that you bring your project with your supervisors, and we as a methodology experts help you to answer the clinical questions you raise. So actually, it's the same if you would like to change your tire on your car. We teach you how to do it on your car. So by the time you learn how to change a tire on a car, your tire is changed in your car and you can go further. So we can save huge amount of time by doing the same activity together. Therefore, we built up a learning by doing pyramid methods, because we not only would like to help you in year 1, but would like to give you the opportunity to stay in the system for longer. So for this methodology part, we divided it for first undergraduate level. So any kind of TDK students can join in. We call them science methodology learner, because as a co-investigator, you can join to a PhD team, a clinical team, to continue your activities. If you became to be a first-year PhD students, we call this population science methodology practitioner, because you are the ones who are doing the research activities. Actually, you can learn all the methodologies. However, later on, if you get appetite to continue your career, you can be science methodology supervisor, SMS, which means you help the young people to achieve their aims. You can be paid for that. You can learn more scientific activities. And after, of course, you can, during your PhD courses, each year we provide you plenty of opportunities actually to join a big international network. And after, when you became a PhD, you immediately can join to the Mentors Club. You can be immediately supervisors. So there is a learning curve, how you can go and learn every kind of activities. Of course, we have a very detailed program. I don't want to go into the details. Of course, you can ask as many as you want, but we have seminars, educations, e-learning, everything is in English, because we must understand that scientific activity is in English. So if you join the program, you must speak English fluently. Of course, you don't need to get a native English knowledge, but you have to understand about the programs. We, of course, not only concentrate on the teaching, but would like to show you role models, how somebody from an early career, they could build up themselves to highly successful persons. So we would like to introduce you absolutely successful basic science experts and clinical science experts as well. And we are very proud and this is also a very good sign of the quality level of this program, that we could attract absolutely high quality scientists who are publishing in Nature, Cell Science, or in the clinical field, the New England Journal of Medicine, JAMA, and Lancet. We are actually show them you. So there are plenty of really top scientists, including Nobel laureates, who came to Hungary and provided presentation in this program and provided opportunities to discuss clinical questions and lifetime possibilities in the future. So you not only get a good training, but we put you in a network line in which you can know absolutely brilliant top people, you know, worldwide. And not only this program run in scientific activities, but we have a very active social club. We have a very active sport club and also an arts club in which we provide you opportunities, and we support it as well about your outside of TM programs. So what is this program for the 2022 and 23 academic year? You could hear Ibolya Turi, the representative of the András Pető faculty, but all the other faculties as well have 90 PhD positions altogether of the 250 PhD places at Semmelweis University for this healthcare delivery program. And what does it mean? As I mentioned to you that this is a hybrid program. So if you are doing your residency, irrespectively whether you just started this year or you will join as a third year, fourth year residents, you can join to this program with a way that actually you come over to our center for 4 days in year one and stay in your residency in 1 year. From the second year, it's turned to opposite. You will spend only 1 day in science and 4 days actually in clinic forwarding residency. So if you look at the first 2 years, actually you spend in our center 1 year. So how can it be possible during the medical training? It's very easy because the Hungarian law allows you, if you are in a residence program and if you have a PhD, you can reduce your residency with 12 months. And this is the 12 months what we fill in with this kind of scientific activities. So if you start this program, you have the chance to finish the residency and PhD exactly the same time, like if you come to only to residency. And why is it important? Because in the past, it was also possible to do residency within 5 years and PhD, but in the old structure, you didn't get protected time for research. The big difference between this program, that you have protected time, so you don't need to do your research in midnight, in weekend, and different holiday periods, but can do daily activities. The second issue is you will be also paid by a scholarship from the PhD side. And in the residency, you can go through those international students who are joining to this program and not involved in residency in here. They also can visit the residence unit. So if they're coming from abroad, they can be here as well. Of course, everything has different subjects. So we have research areas. And in the last year, we had actually 8 programs. However, these programs now filled in with the COVID-19 group. And I am very happy that we had a very good discussion in the veterinary university, in veterinary sciences in Budapest. And they would like also to join in. So we will have a separate program because the human well-being, exactly the same question like the animal well-being. And these methodologies, what in a clinic we use to get more knowledge to treat human beings, it's exactly the same in the veterinary science base. So it's more than welcome to do anybody their PhDs in this topic as well. I was asked plenty of time by students that, is it guaranteed that I can get a PhD if I join in? Of course, we cannot guarantee anything because you need to do your activities. However, it's very important to show you actually about the possibilities to reach. We started this programming page, and there are 4 individual ones who did their PhDs within 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and actually they joined not only as a science methodology practitioner, as I showed you in the learning pyramids, but they joined as a science methodology supervisors later on. They joined as a science methodology advisor and the science methodology experts. So they were involved huge amount of research projects and helped the others and involved. So if you look at about the number of articles they have published in first and last and first and co-author papers, it's needless to say that the opportunity is in your hand. So if you are active, you can finish your PhD with lots of papers. Of course, if you join only 1 year, and after saving, it's still the 2 first authorship publications and minimum of 5 impact factors. It's not difficult actually to get. So now I would like to show you actually a video, which is a summary of what I have said, and you can get a couple of students who are asked and university leaders to make a couple of comments from actually the field. I would like to, can you hear the sound as well?
Yes.
Thank you.
1.7 million people under 75 die every year in Europe, but 1.2 million lives could be saved with more effective prevention and care. Meantime, 1.4 million articles are published every year, but most of the information they provide is not used in everyday patient care. So how can these scientific findings be put in practice as rapidly and effectively as possible? That is the key medical challenge of the 21st century. Translational medicine, or TM, speeds up the practical application of scientific results to find answers to questions asked at the patient's bedside, and thus links clinical and basic research networks. A new TM model, developed on the initiative of the Academia Europaea, focuses on providing healthcare, achieving new scientific results, summarizing these results in layperson's terms, and effectively communicating scientific knowledge to stakeholders, who are patients, healthcare professionals, pharmaceutical companies, and decision makers. The chief characteristic of TM is its multidisciplinarity, and the cornerstone of TM is a registration system that covers all clinical fields.
Translational medicine has 4 major parts, and this is a cycle. So you start from the patient side and you come back. And one part of this cycle is science. And science is always almost nothing new, just everything which is in front of us, but nobody could see before, nobody could notice about what is there. Therefore, like one of the healthcare delivery science methodologies, the meta-analysis, which actually summary and the new analysis of already published data. And summarizing this all knowledge can generate new knowledge, new observations in the field.
When we attend patients and when we care for patients, we can do science and we can answer scientific questions while we are making them feel better, while we are giving them a cure, while we are operating on them or doing an endoscopy for them. So basically, translational medicine enables clinicians to learn ways how to practice science, and ultimately that is the aim of translational medicine as I see.
The TM cycle model was introduced in Hungary in 2016, and the program has proved its effectiveness in the intervening years. Recognizing the significance of TM, Semmelweis University in Budapest founded the Center for Translational Medicine in 2021. An institute of higher education with a strong 250-year history, Semmelweis University is the leading medical training facility in Central Europe and the largest healthcare center in Hungary.
The mission of Semmelweis University is to get into the top 100 universities in world ranking and into the top 5 universities within Europe. For this we need to increase the scientific output, but we are on a very good way because, for example, in the cardiovascular sciences we got into the top 55 universities in one of the ranking. We are currently building up an internal research development and innovation supporting system, and Translational Medicine Center is a part of this supporting system, a very important part of this system.
This new approach to TM has further renewed PhD training. Our educational model of learning by doing took shape in 2016 under the leadership of Péter Hegyi, the current course director of this unique PhD program. Since then, nearly 50 PhD students and residents have taken part in the training, and over 300 quality publications have appeared. The results have made it possible to develop and supplement numerous patient care guidelines, and to put scientific results in practice immediately. This education program is being carried on at Semmelweis University on a much larger scale. Indeed, almost 90 students were admitted in the first year in 2021.
It's absolutely new method. It's absolutely new everything in this topic, and the candidates can possibility to learn how can we write an article, how can we publish an article, how can we set up writing this article. So that's why I think it's very useful.
The program provides PhD students with the opportunity to choose from among 8 research areas. Working in groups, students are able to acquire the necessary knowledge and skills as effectively as possible, and thus conduct more productive and goal-oriented research. The PhD program covers all aspects of the TM cycle. It teaches students how to be critical consumers of medical studies, how to collect primary data through questions and observations, how to manage patient registries, and how to conduct biomedical research.
Doing a PhD or participating in a PhD program was not a question for me. I have always been interested in science. The center of the program is based around translational medicine and mainly around clinical medicine, and that's a really important part of our everyday work.
The whole system, I had this impression that this is a place where really professional work is going on, and during the last 6 months I experienced it in person, that this is really how it seemed in the beginning, because we have a constant help from Professor Hegyi, from our senior methodology supervisor, from the statisticians, and it's a very good feeling that we are not alone with our research, and that everybody's interested, that we make progress. So for me it's a very reassuring and very positive experience.
The Center for Translational Medicine assists PhD students with an interdisciplinary research support staff. Group leaders are experienced medical scientists with great expertise in their field of research. Expert discussants support students in writing their studies from planning to publishing. Supervisors help bridge theoretical research and clinical practice, with the participation of an IT team and an ethics coordinator. Furthermore, the program provides an opportunity for senior PhD students to play an active role in teaching.
I started this program last September, so that means now I'm a second year PhD student, and currently I work as an SMS, that means scientific methodological supervisor, and my task is actually to provide help, mainly in the methodological issues, to students. So we are kind of a bridge between the first year PhD students and the supervisors.
With this special PhD program, I'm working with two independent students related in pediatric oncology topics. So with this work, we have to like a daily routine work, at least 2 or 3 hours, and refresh and recap every previous data and extend it with further work.
The program is very well detailed, very well organized, in the way that we have the group meetings weekly, and we have also the support of the whole team and from our supervisors, is a way that they can be very effective with us all the time. So I think it really helps to truly bring results very quickly. That's what we can see today.
Students in the TM PhD program are also prepared in how to establish contacts, what communication strategies to use, and how to present. Special training sessions are held to aid them in presenting their results as confidently as possible. The main language of the course is English, the language of science worldwide. Every phase of the training proceeds in this language, with quarterly progress reports in the first year of the course, requiring students to hold presentations and answer any questions in English.
We should be able to present progression from data to clinical evaluation. What I mean, we should present a forest plot and to be able take it into a clinical context. So what does the data mean and what is the implication for the research and for our daily practice?
Our major aim that the first year they concentrate heavily on scientific activity, and at the end of the year they would finish the 2 projects which required for PhD. And in a year 2 they will mostly concentrate on healthcare, but still have protected time 1 day each week for science.
Those who enter the program will complete their PhD with a dissertation of high quality. They will understand and interpret the role of scientific research in the TM cycle with precision. They will also become skilled in setting up patient registries, initiating clinical studies, or conducting broad systematic reviews via meta-analyses. Further, their lives may well be enriched with countless friends and shared experiences.
I think actually the method we are using here in the Center for Translational Medicine is the most effective way to translate actually these data that we have in vast amounts now in the scientific world. But now we are trying to find use for this and to implement the knowledge that they mean to us in the clinical practice right by the bedside, and as soon as we can, and as effective as we can.
Those who wish to take an active part in the main goal of translational medicine, renewing healthcare with results that can be measured in terms of human lives, are encouraged to apply to the PhD program at the Semmelweis University Center for Translational Medicine. Together, let's bring science to patient care.
So how to apply? If you go to a web page, which is like tm/center.org, and you go to the education part, you can see a couple of forms to fill in. Of course, You can apply as a project student. As I mentioned, they are the SML, the learners. So if you are undergraduate student, please feel free to join in as well. It's absolutely an opportunity for you. Of course, most of the people joining it with their supervisors. So if you are a resident or a PhD, already a PhD student there, and you have the supervisor who has a willingness to follow you in the system, you can join together, of course, but still fill in the form, and you need, of course, to attach a CV, but it's very easy. You can, of course, join in if you have the willingness of study this kind of program, but you don't have a supervisors yet. We are very happy to find you in your topic, really reliable supervisors. Of course, if you are a supervisor and listening to this presentation, and you would like to find good students, but they are not under actually your area, you can apply as a supervisor, and we will try to find PhD students for you. You can apply if you not have MSc or MD, but BA or BSc degrees, and we will try you to get funds via the faculties to join in. We put the deadline to 1st of May, which is on Sunday. I know that it's already Thursday, so a couple of days, of course, we can extend this form, but to be able to apply in a regular PhD course, because this application is coming to us, after you need to fill in the forms for the Semmelweis University PhD courses, but we can help you to do it, to be specific for this program. But the latest of the end of next week, if you not apply, we will not be able to help you, because the final deadline for the PhD application is 15th of May, so we need time. So if you send us, fill in the form, what is in the web page, you send the CV, we will call you up and we will help you how to apply for this program. Of course, we not only have governmental sponsorship PhD programs, but have another very important courses also for those who doesn't have any kind of governmental support. Of course, they need to pay a tuition fee, but they can join with no problem. We have like a gate program for everybody for the summer period. It's a 1 month program actually, and this is a very intensive 180 hours program that to teach you about the basics of science. However, this doesn't contain research activities, just knowledge transfer, and this will start at the end of June. So please join in for this program if you wish. We have programs for those international students whose English is not very much good enough, so it's not good enough to start the PhD, but they would like to build the basics program. We are happy to provide them English classes, English knowledges in the field. We have the regular PhD program, and this is also on the net. It's exactly the same like the governmental sponsored one, but of course the tuition fee must be paid. And we have an expert program, so anybody from abroad as well, or from here, if they would like to join only for 1 year and they are professors or assistant professors and would like to learn, it's also an opportunity for them. So and finally, I really would like to thank you very much for your attention. Now the presentation is over. This presentation will be actually on the web page available as well. And I can see that there are the 2 other colleagues are also here, Gabor Varga from the Faculty of Dentistry, and also Dezső Csupor from the Faculty of Pharmacy. So if you have very specific question, and if you are a pharmacist or dentist, don't hesitate to ask, and they will try to answer your question immediately. So we wait for your questions. So now the stage is yours, guys. So anybody, or if you just also want to join to the panel as well, you can ask your questions live, or just put your questions to the chat or to the questions and answers part. The other issue is that we try to provide also scholarship for you, especially in the Department of Pharmacy, and this kind of residency program can run well. And we have already started a very promising negotiation with Richter Gedeon, who may also support additional funds for it. And also this kind of opportunities in the residency program, it's available at the Faculty of Dentistry. So who has any kind of questions? Please do. So until actually the questions come, I would like to ask, for example, you, Gabor, who has been following the program for many, many years, because you took huge amount of energy actually to move down to page for plenty of times and actually followed it. And I would like to ask you about what is your opinion. But before it, I saw that we have a guest here, Sarah, who may want to ask a question from us. So Sarah, if you are here, please don't hesitate to ask.
I am here. Sorry.
We can see you as well. We saw you a couple of seconds before.
Yeah, sorry. That was a mistake. Sorry.
Okay.
No problem.
It wasn't a mistake.
Well,
thank you for showing you.
I hope this is okay. I hope it's okay if my camera is off.
Yes, that's absolutely fine.
Okay. I have a question. So I'm currently doing in my second year anesthesiology resident. We're doing my residency here in the University of Debrecen. And obviously, well, you saw my face, so I think it's obvious I'm not a Hungarian. And
not definitely, because there are plenty of Hungarians now who was born here.
Really?
So actually, but you can be later on Hungarian as well, so it's no problem.
Maybe later, but not at the moment. And my question is because I wasn't clear about whether I have to pay or not. Yeah. So for my situation, do I have to pay a fee or not? Yeah, that's the question.
So are you a European Union citizen? It's also a question.
No.
No. So in that case, there are two ways how you can join in. There are Stipendium Hungaricum fellowships, which if you have, it's also a possibility to join. If not, unfortunately, the government has sponsored PhD positions only for EU citizens. So in that case, you definitely will be required to pay. It's 20,000 euros 1 year fellowship. And for this one, for 1 year, you can have the papers and all education at Semmelweis University. So in your situation, you have to pay.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And thank you for joining to the panel.
Yeah, if I can add to this, I mean, we do have fellows from Brazil, and then we have another one from Far East. I mean, we have one from Brazil who is with this program, the Stipendium Hungaricum. And there is at least one more who has very high chance to enter, actually, who is coming through the Stipendium Hungaricum program. So that is possible. Unfortunately, I mean, you have to start applying for that in mid-December, and that's a long process, but that is actually quite doable. Well, this is not a very cheap program, I have to say. I mean, as you go to residency, I mean, residency also costs quite a bit of money because that's not an inexpensive program. But I would say that this is really a good investment, just like your residence is a very good investment. So if you have to pay, and you may consider that you would still like to come, and you will be very welcome, of course. Now, if we Yeah, okay. So see
Gabor,
you in Budapest.
Yeah. So Gabor, I had a question to you that, first of all, why did you take so many energies to come to Pécs? After this like 2 years, was it a good investment to travel a lot and take your very valuable time to come to Pécs? And my third question is that after all, why did you accept the position to be a deputy director of this program? So what did you see in this program?
To reply your last question, I'm still asking myself that why do I do this? I mean, of course, I mean, this is a very exciting program, but this is very intensive too. I mean, to everybody. And also, I am the oldest person and far the oldest, I mean, in the whole system, because the next one is, I think, 15 years younger than me. And most of the people who are active on this is not only the students, but all the others who are involved, I mean, in between 25 and 35. So, I mean, there are a couple of exceptions, but this is something for, if you want new challenges. I'm very bad at this in my whole life. I mean, I always took some kind of new challenges. And although I'm getting old, but I try to keep my mind actually young. Also, I mean, there is a history of this since we have been doing collaborative research with Professor Hegyi for long, actually, for 25 years or so. I mean, for very, very long. But originally, that was basic science. But as Peter turned to this translational medicine, so by the way, I'm a biologist, but I always wanted to support, I mean, healthcare, I would say that, I mean, to do something valuable. And I felt that this is really a program which could contribute. And therefore, actually, not only me, I mean, because the majority of the work is done by PhD students, or has been done by my PhD students. About 3 years ago, actually, or 4 years ago, maybe, I mean, we started to join to Peter's projects, first with one person, and then we included some others. We also had some foreign students who were in the program. Most of these were dentists, but not all. And actually, they did very well, and then they had very good scientific output, and their knowledge increased a lot. And I just started to like the project. I mean, at the beginning, I mean, there was a big question mark, of course, but I really feel that this is very valuable, and especially for those who want science and clinical work together. And long term, I mean, has plans to do variable and the clinical work which adds to the knowledge, and also to be successful. I think this is a great opportunity actually to take this.
Thank you, Gabor. We have here a really very, very good, but I wouldn't say very good, a brilliant pharmacist, Dezső. And I just would like to congratulate you in this panel also, because you had 2 days ago at the Hungarian Academy of Science to achieve the highest academic degree possible in Hungary after application, the Doctor of Science degree. Congratulations for them. You got it over 95% achievement, and which was very well deserved by the committee. So you are a brilliant pharmacist. And as I saw your almost all of your life before you know me, had plenty of laboratory experiments, plenty of pharmacy questions. And finally, you turned over to this program also in Pécs. You are still a member of the faculty in Pécs. And after you followed this program to Semmelweis, so, and most probably you are not only following, you know, me and try to catch my places, but you may see as a pharmacist something interesting in this program. So for a basic scientist, for a pharmacist, what this program can give?
I think it is very essential that if we consider ourselves as health professionals, everything what we do should be related somehow to health or to treating patients. And what I have found here in this program is the way of thinking that all what we do should be directly related to the question how we could improve the health of the patients. And this is very important. And I think that all the people, independently whether they are pharmacists, dentists, or medical doctors, it is an important issue. So if anybody is interested how she or he could use his or her knowledge to improve the health of people using evidence-based medicine or doing evidence-based medicine, this program is the best place, because here we can use and we can learn, study methods that can be used internationally. So what is done here within this program is the highest level of scientific work that can be done in evidence-based medicine.
Yeah, thank you, Deji. And I saw that we still have people in the chat rooms, but they don't ask questions currently. So I put to the chat actually my email address, my phone number, so you can come to me and you can ask anything. We have like Isabella also who would like to ask question. So, and also like we have here another person. So Attila, can you put Isabel here to the panel? And also she may have question. And also we have Ruben Borbe as well. So Isabel, welcome.
Oh, thank you. I have a question regarding the Stipendium Garicum program, because
you
I
can
am
show yourself as well. We show, if you don't mind, of course.
Okay.
It may be better to speak to each other when we see each other. So. But if it's too difficult, of course, it's okay as well. It's up to you, but it's always better to speak. Hello,
okay.
Isabel.
Now it's working. Hello.
Welcome.
I am a Stipendium Garicum applicant and for Health Sciences program, and I would like to know how this could work if I would make the 2 PhD programs at the same time, or if it's a kind of
no, thank you. You are affiliated as a PhD student already to the Semmelweis University?
No, I am applicant. I'm an applicant.
You are applicant. So actually,
but you applied to Semmelweis.
Yes, I am from Brazil and I applied in the last November.
Okay, so actually, if you are admitted to the Semmelweis University, you are in this program and you can make a decision whether you do actually your PhD inside the Center for Translational Medicine in our very active program, or you can, of course, do your PhD separately. It's dependent on you do basic science or whatever with the team of video supervisor. So it's your and your supervisor decision to join in this program. If you have this stipendium fellowship, you can join this program without tuition payment.
But if I can give an advice, that don't do the 2 things in parallel in the first year, because the translational medicine program is very intensive and very time consuming. So you need to spend 4 days per week on this. I mean, on the remaining 1 that you can do whatever you wish. I mean, in other topics, but you do need this. I mean, that is our experience, that's a must actually to get involved. And of course, I mean, your supervisor is welcome in our meetings, because there are some meetings when he or she should also attend. But this is not a, anyway, so
we have a very brilliant Brazilian dentist who is in this program. And if you do you know her?
Yes, we have met already. We talked about the program and so on.
I had plenty of knowledge from how is this program, but you are more than welcome to join us. So thank you for your question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we have here Ruben Borbe. I don't know. Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
So my name is Borbe Ruben. I'm a resident in radiology in Bajcsy Hospital. I'm currently on my second year. My question would be, do you have anyone in the program as a radiologist, or is there any possibility to join? Like, our work is kind of distant from most clinical research, like mainly related to imaging. Is that something that you do?
Yes, we need you. So actually we need plenty of disciplines because medicine is not a one-man show. As a clinicians, we can do nothing if you do not visualize for us what is in the body. So luckily, we already have a radiologist in the miscellaneous group who is doing her research activity with Deák Pál Péter. You may know him. He's from the Department of Interventional Radiology, and they are doing a very, very exciting program. From the other hand around, we have brilliant fellows from different hospitals, and we have also a fellow from Bajcsy Hospital as well, otorhinopharyngologist. I just tried to remember Kata Illés. I know you may know her.
Yes,
yeah. So she's brilliant. She's already submitting her first paper after 6 months. So both as a radiologist, as a resident in a hospital, you are more than welcome. One issue is very important, that your institution needs to allow you to spend the 4 days in this program, because otherwise, without protected time, it's impossible to forfeit it. But I know the director of your institution who is very keen to support this program. Actually, they have also very close members who is in the program as well. So if you send an email to us, I don't know whether you have already had a word with the leaders of Bajcsy hospitals, but I am more than sure that we can have a deal. If you have somebody in the hospital who has PhD degree at radiology and would like to be your supervisor, it's also a possibility. But if you are open for new projects and you open to have supervisors, we can find you the one who is really could help you to achieve your aims.
I don't really have anyone right now, so I'm open.
Yes, that's brilliant. We definitely will find you a right person. So if you send an email, it's in the chat, and we can discuss and fill it. You know, I show you, you know, the web page where you can fill in that students without supervisor part, and we will call you up and we will discuss the details.
So these 4 days per week, I mean, that applies only for the first year, not for the following years. You would get the stipendium, the PhD stipendium in the next years too, but the activity is not going to be that hard. So from your year 2, actually, that's 1 day per week.
I think that's manageable.
That's fine. That's brilliant.
In our department.
So you are very welcome joining in.
Okay, thank you.
So any kind of people or any kind of question? If not, actually this video will be uploaded to the web page. We have also the Hungarian version, which was 1 week ago, but we have this one exactly the same content, so you can watch either of them. You can send it to your colleagues if you enjoyed it, and they can look at. Here are actually our availability. You can find us, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And see you, many of you, actually in the 2022-2023 semester. So I thank also Ibolya, Gábor, Dezső joining us. I also thank Attila Márta, who is our IT specialist and who is providing this webinar for us. So, and see you next year.
Bye. Hello.